Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic slash Non-Classic, episode number 936, and Doubleshot number 830. I have one Marvel trade and one DC trade. No, the next episode is going to be two DC trades. This one I picked up from Ollie's for about, I think it was like $6. This is Avengers, the Legacy of Thanos. This collects Avengers number 255 to 261, the end in the 14th annual of the series, and Fantastic Four and number 19. Pretty much, the Avengers issues are all written by Roger Stern. Yeah, a legendary writer of his own right. And his most recent work I can think of from Marvel was when he worked on the three-parter Something Can't Stop the Juggernaut from the Gauntlet from about 9 years ago. That's the most recent thing I think from Marvel. He's done occasional work now and again, but he's one fantastic writer. I highly recommend checking out his work from the 80s. The artwork in here is done by the awesome John Byrne. John Byrne also does the Fantastic Four Annual, which is simply put a basically intertwining book. One thing you also gotta love about the 80s books is how good they are with the continuity. Like, my gosh, the continuity there was so good in the 80s. Nowadays, it's all over the place. Yep. The story with this is that, well, a couple different stories. One, they have it's where Black Knight returned to the team after they've been gone for the team for several years. Yeah, the reason why that happened was because he got turned to frickin' stone by the Enchantress. And he got freed and restored to normal, and there's that. In the case of, well, and of course you have the storyline with Captain Marvel, where she goes visit Sanctuary 2, aka the home of Thanos, and he got obliterated a few issues prior to this, so that's why it's called the Legacy of Thanos. And apparently the ship is controlled by the Skrulls, and Avengers are forced to team up with them, taking on a mercenary group led by the debuting Nebula. Yep, Nebula makes a debut in this very storyline. And you should point out, though, those of you curious about her appearance in the Marvel comic movies, where Karen Gillan portrayed her, yeah, this, believe it or not, is how she looks in the comics. It's a quite interesting look for her. Plus, also in the story, we see the debut of Terminus. This guy who actually, believe it or not, this guy is an alien. He's a freaking alien. He also basically capsized a whatchamacallit? It was a oil tanker. Yeah, let's start. Okay, here she is. Here is Nebula in her debut appearance. Yep, this is Nebula. Now, it does make you wait. How can it be Nebula? Where is her cybernetic parts? This is all before that. Also, we also have a thing in here, a subplot in here of some people from the U.S. government not really caring for the Avengers. I think it's just some ragtime group of people who just basically do whatever the heck they want. Yes, and they had a replacement government liaison. Originally, it was a man named Peter Henry Geinrich, a guy who was a complete dick, and he also one time tried to shut down the Avengers. Which never succeeded until the Avengers pointed out, oh, hey, yeah, what he did was completely stupid, trying to shut this down. Heck, Cap basically, of course, Terminus also cost the lives of thousands of people, and because of that, some of the information was actually kept, because a lot of information was actually kept from the Avengers that could have helped them save lives, so they spoke to Kevin Lazy about it, and he was pretty much saying, yeah, you're completely justified basically what's going on. Yeah. And of course, we also have going to space. And of course, as pointed out, though, by Black Knight, this is not normally something associated with Earth, because this is frickin' space. Though that didn't stop Jonathan Hickman having the characters in space frequently. Yep. Though occasionally they would go to space, at this point in time, they would rarely go to space. Yeah, it wasn't until Brian Michael Bendis came along, basically had them go to space a little bit more frequently. And Hickman basically put out of the park when it came to that. And plus, in the case of Fantastic Four, yeah, how they fit in here? Well, the Avengers Annual actually is the conclusion of this very storyline. Yeah, believe it or not, it is. It is the conclusion. The Fantastic Four Annual is something, it's basically what Fantastic Four up to prior to them basically showing up here. Yeah. And plus, you gotta love this awesome moment where She-Hulk is like ripping over a wall, and what does she see? A big battle aboard Sanctuary 2. Yep. Of course, I should point out, though, despite that this was the first time Thanos actually died, he would come back. a few years later. He was brought back in the pages of the Silver Surfer. I'm not kidding, he freaking was. This book is fantastic. I highly recommend people who are fans of Avenger books. Now, does Iron Man show up in here? Well, no, he doesn't. The lineup at this point was actually quite interesting. It's comprised of Captain America, the Black Knight, Dan Waltman, he's, well, a character who also has been from Goes recently. A character named Star Fox, who's Thanos' brother. Captain Marvel, but not Carol Danvers. This is Monica Rambeau. Yep. I'm trying to think who else is part of this team. Let's see. We also have Hercules in his 80s look, which is actually a really good look for him. I'm trying to think who else is part of this team. Oh yeah, the Vision, Scarlet Witch is part of this team as well. And I think Namor was on the roster as well. Yeah, I think actually it wasn't Namor, it was Wonder Man. Yeah, but this is actually just after they started this is actually during the period of time when after they had the whole thing. Of course, the whole thing with the government, that actually was the result of the Absolute Vision storyline, which came just before this. Which all the Vision trying to take over the world. Yep. But basically, he removed the Control Crystal. Apparently, had been there since the late 60s. Somehow. Yeah. This book is fantastic. This book, a 10 out of 10. It's really damn good. I highly recommend it. It's just that damn good. Next is my friend Tivia's favorite book, Avengers of the Super Sons. Yeah, I love the series too because I mainly got into the series because of Damian Wayne, because I'm a big Batman fan. This collects the first 6 issues of the 12-issue maxi series Avengers Super Sons. Now, it's pointed out though in the editor's note, this picks up right at the end of Super Sons number 16 and before the Superman special, which sent John Kent to frickin' space with his a person who's supposed to be dead, Jor-El, with his mother. Yep. And in this storyline, we have it where you have pretty much characters from the previous Super Sons book. Yeah, the character named Rex Luthor and a Joker Jr. And I should point out, though, Rex Luthor, I think, is supposed to be related to Lex, but it's never supposedly revealed. He could be his nephew, could be cousin. Yeah, I do appreciate, though, they actually have basically sort of a nod to classic stuff. It's basically kid-style stuff. Heck, there's even a kid version of the Injustice of the Secret Side supervillains. You have group comprised of Kid Deadshot, Ice Princess, which is the a kid female version of Captain Cold. I'm trying to think what was it. Shaggy Boy, which is basically this take on the Shaggy Man. I'm trying to think who else was it. It was a bunch of characters. Oh yeah, I should point out that base operation is still, believe it or not, a thing on bomb of Morrison Bay, which I still think is named after Grant Morrison. Also, they do something that apparently no other writer. Tomasi does something quite interesting. Tomasi is the writer of the book, with artwork by. Oh, there's a few different artists on here. Yep. Oh, this is called Action Detectives. The artwork is done by Carla Beretti and Scott Leweski. The cover art here is done by Jorge Jimenez and Alejandro Sanchez. Yeah, in the first issue, they do something that the new Teen Titans do in the first issue of their series. Take on the Green Lantern villain, the Puppeteer. No idea why. I'm not sure why Tomasi decided to dig up this old villain. As far as I can tell, I think this was his first post-Flashlight appearance. Shows up for the first issue of this, and he pops up one at a time in here, and that's it. Oh, I've been meaning to talk about this. It's the way these covers look. I mean, yeah, those that be curious to where's like the Rebirth stuff, yeah, they took it up like a couple years ago. Plus the spines look like this now. Yeah, it's basically a black spine. Yeah, all the trades generally have this now, plus a picture on top. It's basically a combination of a little bit of the New 52 style trades that you said before, plus the pictures they had post conversions. Yep. Plus in here they also counter future versions themselves. Yeah, which would be illusions. Yeah, and Joker Jr. tries to turn against Rex Luthor. Doesn't go much any place. But yeah. Fun series. Give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Really good. I'm not today probably get this one a 10 out of 10 because he just loves this series. Yeah, he loves this series. He's a big fan. He's basically a big Superman fan. And he thinks this series I think this series is actually just pretty good. And there was another reason why I got into the series, not just because of Damian Wayne. No, he's not the only reason why. Because Tomasi is one of my favorite writers. That's the reason why I got into this. And I figured, why not get this? Because I got like all 4 trades that collect the previous Super Son series, the 3 volumes of the main series, plus the Super Son Tomorrow, which I count that as part of the trade numbering. Yeah. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. I have one more video coming. I'm going to do that next, and it'll be another Comic Corner. On to more DC trades. Both of them Batman related, believe it or not. Okay? But see you next review. Bye.